How's it going, everybody? My name is Mr. Holic here, and welcome back to Killer Frequency. On the last episode, I think teens died. Yeah, some teens died. I don't know where I am in the story. I kind of lost track. I have to go back to the basement. I remember. She wants me to go back into the basement because I guess there's more clues. So let's focus on the clues now. Basement. Here. Right? Yeah. This is where I found the key, the secret basement thing. Is this all closed? No, it's not. Why the hell is it not closed? There is a hole right.
The key? Was this always here? I must have missed it when I brought everything upstairs.
Basement storage. I think there's a door over here, up after this door, the one after. This one right here. Maybe for this? Yes.
Peggy, give me some warning before yelling down the intercom.
Sorry. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
He had a whole map. Ah, yes. El Screwdriver.
Peggy, I found a tape and a map down here.
A map of what?
Looks like it might be to somewhere in this storage area.
Weird. Well, maybe the tape will give us more information. Give it a play.
It looks like a shelf with a tape player. Come on. Play. George Bellows. Huh.
Wait. George Barrow? We all heard that he drowned after a night out drinking.
What if they faked his death? Or his death?
Clive? Has Clive really been the whistling man for that long?
He says I need to follow the maps and find the tapes.
What if
Guess
it's a
that's what this
cover?
map is about.
What if he never did drown?
Keep looking. Buzz the intercom when you found something.
So is this George? No, because they probably already know that he's dead. So maybe he never, his death was covered, and whoever the actual whistling man in this is a revenge killer, maybe.
Time of autopsy is 7 a.m. Cause of death is asphyxiation from drowning. The degree of rigor mortis indicates that the subject has been deceased for 5 hours. That puts the time of death.
Huh. Okay.
Small lacerations to arms, legs, and face, typically obtained by running through foliage. Severe blistering to the feet, as though the deceased had been running without stop.
This looks useful.
Pharmacy. Ooh, that does sound useful. That is useful. Looking around.
Additionally, there appears to be a post-mortem injury to the arm. It looks like it was trapped in a hot
So he was stuck on something. Ooh, what? So from the sounds of it, he was stuck on something. Wait. Come on.
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water where he hit his head,
This has to be
knocked out,
important.
and drowned.
I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia. Wait. Wait. The chick, the one that we had to call for the pizza party, or the party with the frats. Isn't that the chick? Pen. Oh. Humpty Dumpty.
What the?
George Ballows. Oh, so this is a revenge killing. I guess someone covered up the murder. Oh. So it's not Clive. Clive's not the murderer. Employer.
What the hell? Peggy is not gonna believe this.
Okay, so someone paid to cover up, or paid Clive to help cover up this boy's death. The killer knows and is going to try to kill everyone who knows about this cover up. Delivery note. Shipping. St. Gabriel's Hospital installed. Christina's gas repair delivered, installed. Roller Ricky's 6 from Merrill Street delivered and installed. I'm gonna take KFM's radio station delivered, non-stalled. Ooh. I want to take this. What's this? Oh, it's the override system. Okay, I'm gonna need these. Anything else? Anything important? Speak now and forever hold your cheebles. Okay. Let's talk to...
What have you found, Forrest?
It's an autopsy tape. Doesn't say for who, but I think it must be for George.
Poor George. He was so young.
Something's bugging me, Peggy.
What do you mean?
I swear I recognize the voice of the woman talking on the tape. I just can't place it.
Seriously? Do you think you've met her
It has to be the chick with the food
Just got
delivery
here recently.
that we saved with the food delivery.
I don't know. Found another tape. It talks more about how George died.
What did it say?
It sounds like he was running for his life. sprinting through trees and bushes, getting cut up all over.
What would drive someone to do that?
I'm not sure yet. I found a tape that introduces a new detail to the story. Post-mortem injury. Apparently, his arm got caught in a car door.
A car door?
Yeah, after
Weird.
he died. How do you suppose they can tell?
How can they tell? I'm a radio producer, not a coroner.
The written report I found doesn't mention it at all.
How did his arm get trapped in a car door after he died?
They moved the
Guy,
body.
When the police collected his body, I guess someone else must have moved him after he was dead to where he was eventually found.
But the report, what is going on here?
I found
It's
a
a-
police report. Mentions a friend from earlier, Sandra Sharp.
Sandra.
The jazz runner.
That's right. She found George's body washed up at the reservoir.
The reservoir?
Yeah? What's strange about that?
George got cuts from running through foliage, right? But there's no forest around there. Also, how did it wash up at the reservoir?
What do you mean?
They moved him.
Reservoirs don't have tides.
But that's what the police report said.
It's not possible, though. I did a school project on reservoirs and got an A. But, yeah, not important right now.
Not important. I'm a straight A student, by the way.
Doesn't make sense.
What are you suggesting then? That the body was originally found somewhere other than what the report suggests.
They moved the body.
Sheriff tried to cover it up, but
And that's why he
accidentally
died.
let something slip.
They're going for specific people. That's why the killer didn't kill
Sheriff
what's her
Matthews wrote the
name?
report. If he hadn't been eviscerated, we could have asked him.
True. But Sandra is still alive. Once we're done down here, we should give her a call.
In another tape, the coroner comes to the same conclusion as I did. George was running from something.
Maybe an animal?
Maybe, but then there's this next bit, where the coroner thinks he was moved post-death.
So she agrees with us.
At the end of the tape, someone burst in and demanded the doctor, Dr. Sullivan, to stop recording.
Dr. Sullivan. Wait, Virginia Sullivan? She was your caller from earlier.
Well, then our caller was involved in a conspiracy around this boy's death. We need to call her back once we finish down here. It looks like she might know something about what's going on. I found a written autopsy report.
What does it say?
Okay, it's
According to that,
reporting
she
everything that we
slept, you said
found.
at the
Okay.
start. George drowned after getting drunk. Said he liked to fight, too.
The drinking and drowning matches with what I heard, but
There's also a note scroll under the report. I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia.
Virginia.
if it was on the autopsy report, then Virginia must be our coroner.
Interesting. So she'll know
The
more
caller from
details.
earlier, when we had to call the takeout restaurant.
Oh, called it.
I think I found Clive's last recording.
Oh, I was right.
I think Clive might be gone.
Gone?
I found a confession. Not for any killings, but for playing a part in covering up George's death.
Was
He left it
Clive the
behind in
beginning
case he
person who
died.
died in the
He
beginning?
hoped someone would find it.
Do you think the
It makes
policeman
sense.
already got him?
Possibly. We've had a lot of callers tonight, but maybe not every victim made it to the phone, you know? We don't know how many there really are.
Christ, Forrest, that's dark.
That really is dark.
But Clive said he had read about other murders in other towns, and that the murders were all folks who knew about the incident. And the killings were getting closer to Gallows Creek. He said he wanted to do something good for once.
The board in his office. He wasn't tracking people down to kill them. He was tracking them down to save them.
Yeah.
Why didn't he just come out with all of this?
He said his employer threatened his family if he spoke out about any of it.
His employer? The one who orchestrated the cover-up? Oh, Clive. I'm sorry for thinking you'd killed all those people. Do you think you found everything, Forrest?
I think there's gotta be more down here. I need to find all the tapes.
Wait, there's more?
How much did Clive hide down there? Well, if there are more tapes, then there must be more maps to follow, right?
That seems to be the case.
All right then. Buzz the intercom when you find something and want to discuss it.
Did I miss one? I must have missed one. Oh, son of a bitch, I did.
Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found, indicating elevated levels of
Stress.
stress
Yeah.
in the immediate minutes before death.
He wasn't drunk. He was just stressed out of his fucking mind because of all the running and fear.
What have you found, Forrest?
There's also a tape about a toxicology report. There were no signs of drinking or that he was on anything.
What? But everyone
He was
said went
clean.
swimming drunk and drowned. It was in the newspaper and everything.
Right? But we already know the official written report was a lie.
We do. I just... Why would the official report lie about how he died?
The report lied because someone wanted a closed case. Because they didn't want anyone to look into his death.
Do you think you found everything?
I think so.
Forrest, what's going on here?
I
Someone
don't
wanted
know.
that boy's death to seem like an accident. And they hired Clive to make it look that way.
Come back upstairs when you're ready. We need to figure out our next step.
Alright. From beyond the grave. Okay, so they're trying to. So I guess.
Thank God you're back, Forrest. I've been running out of stuff to pad our airtime with.
Peggy, you work in radio.
Forrest, I'm stressed. I mean, really. How are we supposed to keep a show going with all this happening?
It's our job, Beats.
This is our job, Peggy. We gotta do it.
You're right. So, what's the plan now?
I think we should call Virginia back.
All right, I'll get her on the line.
Hello again, Gallows Creek. This is Forrest Nash. We're circling closer to the truth behind tonight's events. To this end, we're calling back one of our earlier callers, Virginia Sullivan.
Here we go.
Fredman Plunker here.
Plunker!
Is it you? Goose.
Plunker, hey, it's the radio man, Forrest Nash.
Radio Man? What's up?
Solving mysteries, saving lives.
The huge.
Right on.
Plunker, what are you doing at Virginia's house?
She asked if we could stay to keep an eye out for that whistling turd. So we're hanging out, bro.
Well, that's big of you, Plunker.
Oh,
It's
nothing.
nothing.
Can I speak to Virginia?
Sure thing, Radio Man. I'll just go get her.
Who is this?
Hey, Virginia, it's Forrest. I'm glad you're still okay.
Oh, Forrest. Sorry, I'm still jumpy.
Don't be sorry. I'll be jumpy too.
I can't blame you. I'd be jumpy too.
I'm so sorry this happened to you, Virginia.
I thought I was. I thought.
Easy. We're not calling to talk about earlier. We're calling because we think you can help us understand why this is happening tonight.
Me? What would I know?
Does the name Clive mean anything to you?
Clive? No. I don't know that name. What are you asking about this for?
You mentioned that name earlier when you called us the first time.
I don't know what I said then. I was petrified, Forrest.
Clive's the janitor at our station, and we know you spoke to him in the past.
Forrest, please. You don't know what you're doing. He'll come for me.
Virginia, it's okay. Clive won't be coming after you.
We think Clive's dead.
Dead? But isn't he? He's the whistling man, Forrest.
We found evidence to the contrary.
But
It's true.
And we found your autopsy reports for George Barrow.
how? I saw him destroy them.
Well, he didn't. I don't know if he kept them or made copies or what, but we found them. And we know it's related to what's happening tonight, which is why we called you. Why did you write a false report?
All right.
Everything's coming all together.
Okay.
Everything.
I came into work to find a boy on my slab. And as I finished the autopsy, this man he started making demands to give over the reports, to falsify what I found. Of course I said no.
But what do you do?
Well, when someone wants to make you do something,
What did
they
he do?
can use the carrot or the stick.
What did he
For
do?
me, he used both. You see, my sister is sick. She has a chronic condition that's never going away. It's expensive to treat, and it was getting to where I couldn't afford it. And Clive promised me that his employer would pay for my sister's treatment if I did what he said, and that if I ever spoke about this, he'd beat me to within an inch of my life. I don't
Jesus,
know why
Clive.
he had me do it, but my sister needed me. You have to understand. She needed me.
We understand.
Speak for yourself. It's
Thank
okay.
you, Virginia. That was brave.
God, I just want this nightmare to end.
This will help end it, Virginia. Thank you.
Thank you,
Stay safe,
Virginia.
Virginia.
Damn.
So, Virginia's tied up in all of this.
Clive threatened her to keep quiet about George's death. But for who? Why cover up these details? Well, we know Sandra was involved in George's death.
Somehow.
Do you want to call her?
I do.
Alright, but before we go asking questions, I think we should know what we want to ask. Is that fair?
Yeah, we need to ask her about finding the body. She was the one who discovered it, but something just doesn't add up.
100%. She knows more than she's saying.
I wonder what she's hiding.
We'll hopefully find out soon. Anyway, just be careful when you're talking to her. Don't push too hard. We don't want her to hang up.
I'll be careful.
Alright, calling her now. Hopefully she's at her jazz studio.
Which is over.
Aha! Forrest, you're through.
Hello, this is Sandra at Jazz Pizzazz Jazz Studio. Who's this?
Hello again, Sandra! It's Forrest Nash of 189.16.
The Scream.
And you're live on air.
Oh, I always thought folks called into a radio show, not the other way around. How jazzy. What can I do for you?
Well, we're trying to understand what's behind the attacks tonight. We had a few questions.
Why, Forrest, of course. Heck, after the way you saved my life, I'd say yes to just about anything you asked.
That sounds nice.
Really? Well, that sounds nice. I might just call you back tomorrow then, too.
Oh, you got my number. But what about tonight? Is there anything you want to talk about right now?
Remember why we called, Forrest.
Of course. Do you know why the Whistling Man might have targeted you?
Ha! As far as I can tell, he was just a knife-wielding psycho with superhuman cardio. He'd have chased after anybody.
Right.
That means he's
we
well
think
fit.
He might be chasing specific people. People who know about the death of a boy named George.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
Are you keeping secrets? You found the body.
Sandra, we know you found George's body. We have the police report.
I don't know what you mean.
It's okay, Sandra. We know.
You do? You know about?
Yes,
Of course.
of course.
This studio is my life.
Someone raised the prices for her studio.
I couldn't lose my studio.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Sure. I understand.
When the rent just kept going up, he said he'd stop if I just needed to keep quiet. And everything would be okay.
Of course. We understand.
I mean, it's not like I killed him. What was the harm in saying I found him in the reservoir instead of the river? Right? Right. I'm sorry. I can't do this.
And she's gone. I don't think that could have gone any better. You truly did great, Forrest.
Thank
well,
you.
folks, if anyone out there has any thoughts on what's going on tonight, please call in.
That's good timing. We've got a call waiting just this second.
Oh, that's good. I'll be right back, guys.
Hey, Big Shot, hit the button and take the call.
Welcome to 189.16,
The Scream.
with me, your host, Forrest Nash.
Hi, Boris. I know this is really
No.
with everything happening
No.
But I wondered if you could save this.
I know the voice. I know the voice. No, don't.
You know what? I'd welcome a change of pace. I'd be glad to.
Thank you, Forrest. He's my Uncle Ronnie. His first name's Peter, but he never liked his name. But since he always had salt and pepper, as a kid, can you believe it? Folks always called him Pepper.
Thanks for the history lesson. Is there anything besides happy birthday you'd like to say to Mr. Pepper? Oh my god damn it!
Yes! Tell him he can get the best
No.
meals and pony packages here at Pony's Pizza. Starting at just...
You son of a bitch! Stop calling us!
Sorry, Forrest. Let's just move on. We've already got another caller on the line.
Okay.
This is 189.16, The Scream.
The Scream.
I'm
You're
Forrest Nash. You're on the air, caller. Caller. Ponty.
Ponty's Pizza always delivers. Come rain or sleet or whistling man, we'll be there.
Hang up.
Forrest? Forrest? Are you okay?
Dude, he's like very pissed off.
Forrest?
I hope the whistling man gets in with his own pizza slicer.
Jesus, Forrest?
Sorry, that was too much.
It's okay. It's been a high-stress night. Don't worry about him anymore, okay? Not for tonight, anyway. I think he's spent for now. We've got another call, whenever you're ready.
I swear to God, if that's Ponty, I'm gonna kill someone.
Don't spend your money at Ponty's Pizza. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Moving along, I'd like to welcome another caller to 189.16,
The Scream.
With me, Forrest Nash. Who may I say is calling?
Well, hello again, Forrest.
Dawn.
Dawn? We played your song, Long Ride Home. Did you hear it? Can you tell us?
Never mind that now. First, I'm calling because I need your help.
Are you in danger?
I sure am.
Do you mean
Yes, he's after me now.
you?
I think so. He must have heard me on the radio helping you.
But you didn't help us.
Helping? You didn't exactly help.
Maybe I've been helping more than you know. I was out following a lead, trying to work out who would be next. After Chuck.
And what happened?
And I started to feel like I was being followed. I came back to my apartment building, but this newfangled security system has me locked out. I need you to help me get inside.
Can a neighbor let you in?
Oh, I only moved in last week. I don't know anybody yet. There's not even a buzzer here, only the keypad for the entry code. I need that code to get inside.
Which apartment block do you live in? Maybe one of our listeners lives
Ooh,
there too.
ooh.
It's the New Woodside apartment building between the town hall and the trailer park. But I doubt any of your listeners live there. I don't have many neighbors.
Sounds like a prime piece of real estate. Order delivery form. Starling must have left this by accident. The system's not even installed at Woodside.
The sound really carries at night. Shit.
A dog. Roller Ricky. Because he's the only one with a dog. Because we had no dogs unless there's a new character with a fucking dog.
Is that a neighbor's dog?
Yes, it is. Boy, I wish he'd muzzle that thing and... Oh. And now he's blasting David Scopo out of his window. I can't get any... He's coming down the street. He's seen me. Forrest, please. I need your help. I need the code for that security system, or I'm gonna die.
What's your neighbor's name?
I don't know my neighbors, remember? Please, I need to get in.
What's the name of the security system?
There's a sticker on the box. It says Starling Security 4000. Keep a 6-digit number.
Starling 4000. User manual. Ah, these codes should come in handy. We'll see what we can do.
Thank you, Forrest.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry, Don.
Thank you, Forrest. I knew I could count on you. I'll sit out of sight. Call me back soon.
All right, folks. Here's a little tune for you all to enjoy while I try to break Dawn into her apartment. You were pretty quiet there, Peggy.
Forrest, was it just me, or was there something?
Yeah, it wasn't just you. Something was weird about that.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, we have a Starling 4000 or whatever here at KFAM.
Found it.
Clive bought one for the station. Maybe we can find something to help. Well, I'm not sure.
I'm already ahead of you.
But to help someone.
Okay, so she's locked out of the Woodside Apartments, and somewhere Clive probably has the papers for the Starling 4000.
It's a dog, so she's not at Woodside. Because unable to stall, she's lying. They delivered but was not installed, so why would she do that? She's lying. Yeah, look. In the paper it says, Woodside Apartments delivered, unable to install, repair new parts, new installations date 17th. We're on the 3rd. No, she's lying. I think she's trying to break in. Maintenance call code alarm test warning. This will set up all security measures. Okay, I gotta remember that name. The 1-19-15-19. She's trying to kill someone. Is Dawn the
Welcome
killer?
back, Forrest. Find anything?
The Starling 4000 security
She's trying to.
manual.
She's either trying
It's
to
got a
break
bunch
in
of codes.
to steal, or she's gonna
And did
kill.
you find anything else?
I saw a list of everyone else who bought the Starling 4000. Know who was on there?
Oh my god. Roller Ricky! Do you think we should give him a call? Is that crazy? I don't know what you'd say, but...
No need.
Just put me through to Don. I'll take care of this one way or another.
Okay, if you say so. When you're ready, shut the music off.
Got it.
Line 1, whenever you're ready.
I'm not trusting Dawn.
Don, are you there? This is
Unless I hear a whistle outside her call.
16,
Wait,
the
shh,
Scream.
shh.
Oh, thank God you're back. I've been so afraid. What's the code to the gate?
Ooh, okay, give the alarm test activation. Warning, this will set up alarm test.
The code is 191519.
Thank you, Forrest.
She sounded pissed. She sounded evil.
Son of a bitch. Ah!
Yeah.
Is she?
She's trying to break in. Is that a gun?
Yeah, stay out! Nobody disrespects the sanctity of the ring! Don't ever come back here again! I'm calling the cops!
Thank God.
Oh.
Hello? Is someone there?
Ricky, get back inside and turn on the radio. Whoever that was, she was trying to break into the ring.
She? Forrest, man, you got no idea. That was him! That was the whistling man! The alarm gave me just enough time to get my rifle. I don't like hurting folk, but...
Is Dawn a
I can't let
dude?
anything happen to Maxie. He's my best friend, you know?
Listen,
Listen, man, I'm heading back inside. Gonna barricade that window. My man, thank you. You and Peggy can skate for free whenever you want, forever. That's a done deal.
Thanks, Ricky. Can't wait.
You got it. Talk to you soon.
Okay, Gallows Creek. Here's some music while we process what just happened.
I want to play different music. Let's play this one.
So, the whistling man is a woman?
I know, I can't believe it. I had my... Yeah, I worked it out a while ago.
Yeah, I worked it out a while ago.
Yeah, sure, Forrest. You just never mentioned it. She called up. You spoke to her multiple times.
But it also proves that she listens to the radio. I thought she was just a regular Gallows Creek stranger. I knew she wasn't right.
I knew she wasn't right.
Is that right, Sherlock? Why do you think she requested that song?
To get me outside to mess with us. Maybe she wanted it.
To get me outside?
Maybe, but how? She didn't know the song was outside to start with.
That's right. She never actually attacked me out there.
So?
The
I
entryway!
guess I should make an announcement. We do have new info.
Okay.
The
kill
door's still
music,
open
and you can
though.
make the announcement.
The one in the basement.
Okay, you're live in 3, 2.
Hey folks, this is Forrest Nash here. I hope you're all safely locked inside. For
Because
those of you
I'm
listening
not.
to that last call, you might be wondering what to make of it all. Here's our take. We now believe the killer is actually a woman.
Bum, bum,
One who will
bum.
manipulate you into letting her in before she attacks you.
We're neighbors. Look out for each other. Stay safe. I'm sad to say, but it's time to trust no one. I don't know what to say in this one. We're neighbors. We have to look out for each other and stay safe. For this playthrough, and I know I'm going to be an asshole on this one, I'm going to go for this one.
I'm sad to say, but it's time to trust no one. The killer was calling themselves Dawn.
Dawn. It could be a fake name.
This could be a fake name. If anyone needs help or you have info on the killer, please call in. You folks have my new number, right? It's 911. Hopefully, our next caller can help shed some light on our killer.
Hey, we had a call come in.
Okay, folks, time to take a call. You're through to Forrest Nash on 189.16.
The Scream.
Hey, man.
Murphy?
Damn straight.
What's
Oh,
going
Murphy,
on,
what's up?
You in danger again?
Nah, man. I've just been listening to the show here at home. And since you asked folks to call in if they could help out, well, I'm calling.
Oh, thank you,
I don't
Murphy.
know if I can say as much as other folks have, but I figure I wouldn't be a good role model to Fernando if I didn't try to help, you know?
Father of the year, man. You're a good
You're
father.
a good father, Murphy.
Absolutely. Fernando's a lucky kid.
Oh, thanks. So, what do you want to know?
Well, what can you tell us?
I don't know. Really.
All right. Well, do you know anything about the death of George Barrow?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay. What about the killer herself?
Herself? Man, I didn't get my ass kicked by a lady.
Two
Man,
people.
I went toe to toe. It was a man.
You heard the last call, right, Murphy?
Yep.
So you know it's a woman, and you were trained by a VHS, Murphy.
I know, but man, how could it have been a woman under that mask?
Let's just move on. Do you know anything about the history of the Whistling Man?
No, sir. Tonight's the first time I ever heard.
What if it's two people?
I moved here.
It would explain why he and she moved around so fast.
Hey, man, no worries. Just thank you for trying.
Right. Sorry I couldn't help you all along, man.
It would
Now,
make sense.
You'd have asked me about gators.
Forrest, we have a call coming in.
Sorry, Murphy. I think that's all we've got time for right now.
All right. I'll catch y'all with the gator talk later. Night.
Well, folks, that was a bust. But perhaps our
Lord
next
have mercy, I'm
caller
about to
has
bust.
more they can tell us. Let's find out. This is Forrest Nash, and you're listening.
Please help me. My name is Casey Moore.
Oh, hi,
I'm at
Casey.
45 Nancy Drive. My
Breathe. What happened?
Somebody's been stabbed? Can you tell me what happened?
We'd been out at the reservoir. We were heading back to his place when we heard this whistling all of a sudden. He just started freaking out. He screamed at me, told me to hide. I'd never seen him like that, and I just panicked and ran and hid in the bush.
Oh no. Forrest.
Then what happened?
He went up the road and talked to someone. I couldn't really hear or see anything. It sounded like he might have known the person, and they just stabbed him.
Casey, was he talking to a woman?
I don't know. They had a mask and wore all black. That's all I know. Please, we need help
Damn.
here.
I'll get you help, but I need to know. Where did the masked person go?
They left. They left him to bleed out. I waited until they were gone, then dragged him into the garage and called 911.
Wait, why didn't you make sure he was dead?
I don't know. I think I heard them say something like, "It's not so funny now, is it?"
It has to be a revenge killing now, the way they said it.
Please, he needs to get to the hospital. I can't drive, so we need an ambulance.
Forrest, the ambulance was destroyed in the explosion at the gas station. You should get all the info you can.
Can you
Where
tell
is he
us
hurt?
where your friend was stabbed?
They stabbed him in the stomach, and then stabbed him again in his leg when he was on the ground, and it's... Oh, the knife is still there in his leg.
What's your
Ugh.
friend's name, Casey?
It's Jason Parker.
We'll be right back. Peggy, patch us through to the hospital.
On it. Phoning St. Gabriel's now. Switch to line 2.
Okay.
Hello, St. Gabriel's Hospital. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Forrest Nash from 189.16. We have a stab victim at 25 Nancy Drive named Jason Parker.
I have everything ready to
Stabbed
write
in the
down.
stomach and the leg. He's bleeding heavily.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. The ambulance is... Well, you know.
I know, but please, we need something, or he's going to die.
Forrest, Listen, you're going to have to get him here. We need to see him, and we can't get there ourselves right now.
We don't have any way to drive him right now. And even if we did, he's bleeding out fast.
All right, listen. We need to buy him time to get here. That
Okay.
means stopping the blood first, and then finding someone to stabilize him.
Got
To
it.
stabilize him, you really need someone with first aid training. Do either of you have any?
No.
Me neither.
Damn it. I'm really sorry about this, but I have other patients who can't wait. All I can do is talk you through the procedure as quick as I can.
Okay, I have everything written down.
It's to you. You think you can handle that?
Handle it.
I'm sure we can handle it.
Okay, from the
From the top.
If he's bleeding out, then you need to get him comfortable and try to stem the bleeding. Lay him down. Apply continuous pressure directly to the affected areas. When the bleeding slows, get a clean cloth of some kind and hold it over the wounds.
Get them comfortable. Apply pressure. Clean cloths when slowed. Got it. I think.
You said he was stabbed, right? If the object he was stabbed with is still in him, don't take it out. It's
Don't
stopping
take it
the course
off.
of the bleeding right now. If anything, you should secure it so it stays where it is.
I wouldn't have thought of that. It makes sense, though. God, that was a lot of info. But I think we can handle this.
Glad you got it so far, because there's more to go.
Keep
I'm still
going.
with you, Doc. What else do we need to know?
If he's lost a lot of blood, he may enter shock. If he does, act fast. If you apply a cloth and it's bleeding through, don't remove it. Just apply another on top of it. If it's safe, elevate his legs to get blood circulating to his vital organs. Try to keep him warm. Get him to rest and reassure him. We need the patient to stay calm.
All right, don't replace bandages, elevate his legs, keep him warm and calm. This is a lot.
I'm really sorry. That's as much as I can give you right now. Try to stop the bleeding, find someone to get him stabilized, and get him here as quick as you can. Good luck.
All right, Forrest. Casey's still on line 1.
Here we go.
Oh, Forrest, are you there?
How are you holding up? How's Jason?
I'm here. How's Jason doing?
Badly, he's still bleeding. I need help. I've been putting pressure on his stomach wound since you left, but he's still bleeding. I don't know what to do.
That's good, Casey. The nurse said to do that.
Yeah.
What about the knife in his leg? It's gotta be hell. Should I pull it out?
No, don't touch the knife. The bleeding will get worse if you pull it out.
Are you sure? I'm sorry.
No, don't worry, Casey. We're a team here.
Agreed.
We're all going to get Jason through this. Casey, is his leg wound bleeding right now?
I hate looking at that knife. Yeah, it's bleeding. His stomach is worse, though.
We need to secure the knife.
I think we need to secure the knife so it doesn't move around. Do you have anything you can tie around it?
Yeah. There's some laundry piled up on top of the dryer, some cloths on the hood of the car, and what else? I guess I've got my jacket.
Use the laundry. Cleaning rags. What's good? The jacket can help keep him warm. The cleaning rags can be used for to put the new laundry.
Look in the laundry for something like a towel or a shirt. Hold that over the wound.
Okay. Looks like I'm gonna have to buy you some new whites, Jason. Here we go. I'm sorry, Jason. It's secure. I'm putting pressure on his stomach again. I'm starting to think we might make it.
Forrest, can I have a word?
Casey, I'm gonna have a quick word with Peggy. Keep putting that pressure on and let us know when the bleeding is under control. You're doing great.
Yeah.
What if something happens?
We'll still be here. Just shout if you need anything, and we'll be there. I promise.
Okay. I'll wait. Jason, please be okay.
Okay, come on.
What's up, Peggy?
We can't stay on the line with her all night. Dawn is still out there. What if other people need us?
You're right.
I hate to admit it, but she is right.
Probably on her way to her next target right now.
Exactly. And you heard the nurse. We need someone there with training who can stabilize him.
But how?
He's
How do we
gotta
know
get
anybody?
to the hospital somehow.
She'll have to drive him. Could someone nearby help?
Could somebody nearby help them? Maybe drive them to the hospital?
You know, that's exactly what I was wondering.
Do you have anybody in mind?
I might. A little before you started working here, KFAM did a mandatory first aid training course. Me and Karen missed it because we were away on a producer getaway.
You skipped it, didn't you? Never mind. So, how does KFAM's first aid course help us?
Casey said they're at 25 Nancy Drive, right?
Yeah.
Why?
They put up a bunch of cheap houses around there about 10 years ago. So a bunch of people here at the station live around there.
Do you think any of them could help Casey and Jason?
Probably, but I don't know who lives there. And
Okay,
since
then
I
how are we
missed
gonna
the
find
training
out?
day, I don't know who knows first aid.
Could you call them and ask?
I don't know everybody's numbers. I've only ever called Karen. Everybody's personnel info is probably in Reggie's office.
Got it. I'll look through their files in Reggie's office. It's a life or death situation. I'm sure they won't mind.
Right. But there are a couple of problems with that.
What?
Go on.
It's sensitive information, so Reggie probably locked it in his safe.
Great. Great. Do you have any idea what the combo for the safe could be?
Not a clue. Reggie's a serial note taker, though. Maybe something in his office will give it away. Right. There is something else.
Oh no, what
I'm not gonna like
else?
this, am I?
Have you ever heard, the future is floppy?
Peggy, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about floppy disks. Floppy disks are like these futuristic things that have information on them. You put them in a computer and they do something.
Peggy, I know what a floppy disk is.
Anyway, Reggie decided that the future is floppy and started phasing out our physical records and replacing them with these floppy disks. I imagine it's the same for our personnel files.
That's good to know. Since we haven't heard anything from Casey, I'm guessing Jason's okay for now. I'll check out Reggie's office and see what I can find.
You'll need a key for that. I'll just slide it under my door now.
Thanks, Peggy. I just have to look around.
Let's go. What?
Good. I'll patch my mic down to the office so you'll hear me over the intercom.
Okay. Come on. Master of unlocking. That means I got all the keys. That means we're close to the end-ish. And I think I know where his office is too. Right here. Reginald Scott.
Looks like I need a 4-digit code.
Hint, very important date. Zero 910. Remember Reggie Jr.'s birthday is 0910. 0910. Really? His son's not important? Jesus Christ. Clive, if you're reading this, stop stealing my post-it notes. No. Ask Janie where those tapes are. It's been weeks now. Overdue. Okay, so I guess like that.
Could this be it?
Pizza delivery killer who kills with a pizza cutter. Free slice on me. 1107. 1107. I hate how it's a Ponte thing too.
Nice.
Personnel file. Carter Barley. Wyver Peggy. Nash Forest. Let's do this one first. I'm gonna probably skim it because I probably don't have time. You know, because there's someone's... Oh wait. Wait, how do you get rid of this? Okay. Here we go. Okay, when I hired Barley on the station, food crates, yeah, I'm worried maybe join one after sometimes food and end up messing with. No, he missed. He missed out. He's not our man. Abigail Bright. I was really getting well with all the stuff here. Everyone is giving her great feedback on our last interview we got. I have not cat recently. Mara laughed when I told her about the concept of a new horror script. I don't care what she thinks. The horror is about alien eggs. Center of the Earth set to hatch on February 30th. I don't see anything about first aid. This one's a bust. This one is about Lawson Karen. Wait, Karen, right? Karen has released on her duties months. She's really taken her show along Turbulent Twins. Karen has started mentoring Peggy. I think this will be really good for Peggy. They are even doing team building training getaways to improve. Update. I'm starting to suspect that these produced getaways are being strategically timed. They now both miss first aid training. Okay. So this is Karen. She's the one with that Peggy missed. I'll maybe come back and read those later. Right now we're in the middle of someone dying. John refuses to engage with the first aid trainers during the course. I know he was a war medic. War medic. That means he knows a bunch of medical things. Okay, it's John. You know what? Let's read Forrest Nash. We got 2 more, might as well. We already know who we're gonna call.
Get a load of this, Peggy. Apparently, I'm a lone wolf type.
What are you doing? We don't have time for this. We have a man literally dying on the line, and we're more interested in you.
You're right, I'm sorry. I need to focus on possible candidates. I can read the rest of this later.
I can't believe we actually got the Forrest Nash here on Gallows Creek. His motivation may be low, his demands are a bit beyond our means, but he's currently blacklisted from any respectable station. But honestly, we don't have the questions to lose. Forrest isn't really integrating with the team, seems to have this lone wolf thing going on. Heard him calling Jenny and Barbara in his first week. Hopefully he changes when he gets settled. I paired Forrest with Peggy for this show. It seems to have developed a relationship of sorts pretty quickly, which is good because we sure don't have the show budget to pair him with Karen. Okay. Hopefully this won't kill John, but I want to read Peggy. I want to know more about Peggy. Peggy seems cool.
Hey, Peggy. I think Reggie's on to you and Karen. Maybe don't bring those little drink umbrellas into work for a while.
Why are you reading my file? You need to find someone who can help Casey. We already know I can't. Don't waste time.
You're right. I'm sorry. I need to focus on possible candidates. I really shouldn't have read both. We're in a hurry.
I never seen any gal with everybody as quickly. Wait, I've never seen anybody gel with everybody as quickly as Peggy has. Her, Karen, and Barbara have really become a little family already. Maybe we need to run a station on girl power. Maybe it's cheaper than electricity. Sometimes I wonder if Peggy secretly wants her own show. She hasn't been shy about getting involved in the calls on the screen. Sometimes it feels as though Forrest could just leave for a coffee mid-call and no one would know. Peggy and Karen have missed another work event, this time first aid training, because of a training session. Their collection of cocktail pastoral grows after each session. Why are they doing training sessions at the bar? Interesting. Now, does Karen and Peggy have a thing? Or they just don't want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm here. Did you find what we need?
I think I know who to call.
I think I know who our best bet is to help Casey and Jason.
Alright, good work. Who should I... Hello? Is anyone there?
Where did I put his...
Casey, I'm here.
John
What's wrong?
Huge.
Jason started going pale. I tried to get him to rest, but he just threw up everywhere.
He's in shock.
What's happening? What do I do?
God, it sounds like he's going into shock. Casey, just stay calm. It's going to be okay.
But the police seem to slow down. Did I mess up? Jason, I'm sorry.
Casey, calm down. You've done everything right. I need you to listen to me, okay? For Jason.
What did the nurse say to do about shock?
Elevate Jason's legs.
Casey, I need you to elevate Jason's legs. We need to get the blood flowing to his vital organs.
Got it. Jason, stay with me. I'm just gonna move you. This might hurt. Okay. I propped his legs up on some boxes. I'm looking at my notes. We need to get Jason as warm and comfortable as possible. Do you have anything you could use nearby, Casey? Yeah. I still have some laundry next to me. I'll wrap him in some blankets.
Okay,
Give me a
good.
second.
No, add some new. Apply an additional
Don't
bandage.
remove the bandage. Apply another one on top of it. Do you still have something you can use?
I've used the rest of the laundry to keep him warm, so I'll use my jacket. I can always get a new one.
True.
I'll fix his bandage and get him warm. Hold on, please. Sorry. I'm done. You're gonna be okay, Jason. Just relax now, okay? Oh, he's not doing well. Is he gonna...
He's gonna be fine. Be strong for Jason.
Casey, I need you to be strong for Jason. Sit with him and reassure him that everything's gonna be okay. Okay?
Okay. Please. I can't give him what he needs. Please, I can't lose him. All right, Forrest, we need to hurry. Jason doesn't sound like he's doing too well. You said you knew who to call earlier? Who was it?
John Hughes.
We need to call John Hedges. He lives on...
Oh, Hedges.
He didn't really participate in the first aid training, but he's a former war medic. He's probably the most trained person we have.
Really? I never really spoke to him before. A war medic, huh?
Yeah, and according to Reggie's notes, John keeps all of his old equipment at his house.
Very
Something
true.
of a hoarder.
All right. What's his number?
5420735.
Calling now. Let's hope he picks...
Who the hell is this calling me? What time is it?
John, it's Forrest Nash here at KFAM. We have an emergency and we need your help.
Forrest, if this is a work emergency, then it can wait until the goddamn morning. Just leave me a note like everybody else.
John, no, this is a medical emergency. A man has been stabbed by the Whistling Man, or... Never mind. He's badly hurt, and he's going to die unless we get someone to him now.
The Whistling Man? What kind of joke is this?
John, we're not kidding. A man is gonna die if we don't help him right now.
Seriously? I haven't been called on for over 10 years. Where's the patient? What's his condition?
He's at 25 Nancy Drive. I think we got his friend to stem the bleeding, but he's gone into shock. He's passed out right now.
You say he was stabbed? Do you know the extent of his injuries?
From what we were told, he has 2 major stab wounds.
One in
to
the stomach and one in the leg.
to the leg. The knife is still in his leg, and the stomach wound is open.
Understood. Let me grab a few supplies and I'll head right over. Damned if you guys on my watch.
Thank you, John. We'll let him know you're on your way.
Dude, I am like stressing out.
Casey, are you there? How are we doing?
Bad. Jason seemed really weak, and then just started thrashing.
When he was thrashing around, did he hurt you in any way, or are you okay?
I'm fine, but Jason passed out. Please tell me you found someone to help.
Casey, help is on the way. My colleague will be there soon.
You hear that, Jason? Someone is coming. You're gonna be just fine. Just hold on for me, okay? Just hold on. Come on.
Think-
I'm guessing that's Jason there. Casey, I'm gonna need your help. Forrest, Peggy, don't you two worry. We've got this from here.
Okay. Forrest, we'll call you back later. I have to go now. Good luck, everyone. God, I hope he's gonna be all right.
And with that, the show moves on. We're sending our best wishes to Jason. Well, after all that excitement, I think we could use some music.
Come back upstairs when you're ready.
Jesus, man. I thought I saw some eyes, but it's just dust particles. Or a ghost too. Oh, music. Let's see. Stabbed in Twilight, the
Play a
word.
record, Forrest.
Stabbed in Twilight.
You'll like this next song.
It's getting pretty late. This might be your last break for the night, so try to enjoy it. Give me a buzz when you want to go back on air.
Alright. This is the last one, so might as well. I'm gonna finish this whole game off in this one recording. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna go take a bathroom break. Alright, guys, I'm back. Sorry.
Let's roll.
Bathroom
You got
break.
it. We've got another call coming through, too.
Welcome back to 189.16.
The Scream.
I believe we have another caller on the line. How are you tonight, caller?
Forrest!
Roller
Hey,
Ricky!
Roller Ricky! Oh, and Maxie's here too.
Good to hear from you again. How are you both doing?
Oh, we're good, man. Thanks to you. You're like our guardian angel.
That wouldn't be a bad look for you, Forrest. A little White Wing Halo number?
Maybe something for the K-Fam Halloween party.
Ha
All right,
ha.
everyone, let's calm down. Ricky, I'm just glad we could help you and Maxie.
Is there anything else we can help you with, Ricky?
Actually, I think I have some info that might help you.
Ooh.
Oh? What's that?
You see, man, me and Jason know each other.
You know each other?
Ooh,
Yeah, we went to Gals
connection.
High and played on the football team together. He was a gnarly offensive lineman, and I was our star wide receiver. Runner Ricky, they call me.
All right, and what does that have to do with tonight?
Well, because George, the guy who drowned, he was on our team too.
Keep talking. What happened?
We had our first team party on the night he drowned. He seemed like such a good dude.
Ricky, were you there when George drowned?
No, man. Once the party turned, I beat feet out of there. Man, I remember George and his girl there. A
Girl.
whole lot of love, man. I could see it, you know?
Ricky, listen, this is very important. I need to know everything about her.
I didn't really know her before, or see her after that. I never even got her name, man. I just remember he called her Bean.
Then what did she look like? Please, tell us anything you remember.
I just remember a pretty girl, man. I'm sorry.
Ricky, you said the party didn't last long.
This
What
is a revenge
happened?
killing.
We were just having a good time, and then the next thing I knew, everyone was running for their life. I looked up and saw that goddamn whistling man in the trees. And I never ran so fast in my life. I ran straight home. Didn't know about George until next morning at school.
I'm guessing it was whistling night, wasn't it? That the whistling man was just another kid.
Yeah.
It was another
I
hazing
don't know
or
about George
teasing.
now, but, I always felt like if anyone deserved to die that night, it should have been me.
Don't say that, man.
And
Maybe if it.
Ricky,
No.
it wasn't your fault.
I'm not an asshole, man.
You're not a bad person.
I know that now, man. It took a long time to learn, but
Fuck, why am I crying?
just thought I'd tell you all what I know.
Thank you, Ricky.
This
Thank you.
helps. Thank you.
You got it, man. Anyway, I think it's time for me and Max to free up your phone lines. Thanks for listening, man. I'll let you to it.
Night, Ricky. All right, folks.
Why am I crying for
Looks like
Roller
we've got a
Ricky?
lead in the case. If anyone has any info about this mysterious bean, please call in.
If she was George's girlfriend back then, she's probably in her mid to late 30s now. Huh. Oh, we have another call coming in, but hang on.
What's up, Peggy?
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 You're gonna want to take this call off the air.
Who is it?
Just do it.
All right, folks, it's time for another track. Here's one to help you sit back and relax. We'll be right back after this. Hope you enjoy this one as much as I do. I hope this is good news, Peggy. Who have we got?
Find out for yourself on line 1.
Hello?
Forrest! I'm glad I got back through to you.
Yes!
Sounds like it's been a busy night, huh?
Leslie!
Surprise! It's Leslie, our 911 operator, leading the charge from Henderson to come save us. It's so good to hear from you. Are you okay?
We're doing okay. Sarah and I are both happy to be headed back home.
We're happy to have you too. Wait, Sarah?
Oh, yeah, I mean Deputy Martinez. Anyway, we got back into radio range a little while ago. We've been listening in, but haven't been able to get through until now.
It's been a long night.
Ever since you found Sheriff Matthews, it's only gotten worse. It's been a long night.
Well, it shouldn't be too much longer now. I'm glad I got through to you. I wanted to let you all know what's going on.
Okay.
To Henderson. Turns out somebody had cut the phone lines, and they had no idea what was happening. After I told them, well, their sheriff sent a goddamn squad back with me to stop this.
That's great news. That's crazy about the phone lines, though. Do you think the Whistling Man cut them?
I'm guessing so. I don't know how the Whistling Man did it. But that doesn't matter right now. Listen, we're coming in hot, but we need your help. I know Gallows Creek isn't a big town, but if we don't know where the Whistling Man is, we can't get him.
We have to draw them
That's
in.
where you come in.
What do you
can
need?
count on us. What do you need?
It might be a long shot, but here goes. The Whistling Man already called up a few times. I bet she calls again. We're still a little ways out of town, so if she calls, stall her. Buy as much time as you can for us to get in. And while you're talking to her, try to figure out where she is. We'll be listening in, so once her location is known, we'll head straight there and end this nightmare.
I'll do my best.
I
Fine.
know you will. Heck, I can see the headlines now. Forrest Nash's interview of a lifetime. Anyway, I'll radio the other cars and tell them the plan is a go. Hopefully the next time I see you, it'll be with our killer behind bars.
Yeah.
Take care now.
We'll see you soon, Leslie. Oh, thank God. It sounds like this is almost over. We're nearly through this.
Let's get back on the
Best
air.
we don't waste any time then. Let's get back on air.
You got it. When you're ready, shut the music off. Bringing you back live now.
Welcome back to The Scream with me, Forrest Nash. The line is lit up, but before I get to our next caller, I just want to say, things are looking up. It's almost over, but for now, let's bring in our next caller. Evening, caller. This is Forrest Nash.
Hello, Forrest. This is
John.
Hedges. I'm here with Casey.
Oh,
I wanted to give you an update on Jason.
please tell me the life.
Is he gonna be okay?
Come on.
He's a fighter. He'll be fine.
Yes!
Got him stabilized and resting in bed. We're preparing to move him to the hospital.
Thank you so much. If you hadn't been there, then...
Oh,
God, I don't even want to think about what would have happened.
Of course, Casey. We're just happy he's okay.
John, Casey, you two did all the work. Tell Jason to get well soon from us, whenever he's up for it.
Well, why don't you tell him yourself?
Is this Forrest?
Jason, we meet at last.
It's
Jason
good to hear
lives.
you, Jason. How are you?
Oh, well, you know, I've got a hole in my stomach, and there's a knife in my leg, but John gave me something to take the edge off. So, I might feel even better than either of you.
Take it easy until you get to St. Gabriel's.
I will. But, before that, I needed to call you. I'm guessing the Whistling Man is still out there?
Yep. As far as we know, anyway.
I was worried you'd say that. God damn it.
Actually, I'm glad you called. I wanted to talk to you about what happened earlier.
Go for it.
We spoke to Roller Ricky not long after you were attacked.
You spoke to Ricky? Is he alright?
He is now. I mean, he was attacked earlier, but this call came after.
Hey, guys, I'm really sorry, but there's a call on the other line. I just need to make sure we don't have another situation brewing. You fill Jason in on what happened. I'll be right back.
Sure, Peggy. Sorry, Jason. Where was I? Yep. Ricky's fine. You don't need to worry about him.
That's a relief.
He told us about George.
Sounds like everything's finally coming out now.
What happened?
It's been tough to hold it all in.
Sounds like you've been holding back about something awful, Jason.
I'm part of the reason my best friend is dead, Forrest. And the few who knew about it said if I ever said anything, I'd find myself in jail. For a long time. It was hell. And then the town just moved on. Like it never existed.
What happened that night?
I went along with this stupid prank, that's what. Whistling night.
Oh.
Some of the guys on the football team had an idea for a way we could haze the newcomers.
George was one of the
Decided
new
to
Hayes.
Plan a party in the woods. Have the whistling man crash it. It was stupid. We each had a role. I was the stabbed friend.
And he turned to be stabbed.
Party that
Oh.
night, I left the group for a second. Met our whistling man. Pretended to get stabbed in front of everyone. Started an almighty panic, those screams. That was the last time I saw or heard George alive.
How did George die, Jason?
I don't know. I was playing dead. But when I heard her scream,
Ricky mentioned a girl named Bean. Is that who you mean?
Bean. Oh yeah.
What's her
George
name?
did call her that. Yeah. He called her Bean. I heard her again tonight, Forrest. Her name was...
What? What happened? Are we still on air? How do we get it back on? An emergency broadcast? Fair point.
I remember it. Okay. I don't like this, guys. It's... I don't like this eerie tension. I'm gonna turn on some coffee. I can't make coffee, guys. It was...
Far back corner. Why is this station so big?
I don't like this. Okay, come on. Here it is.
That must be it. Boom! We've got power.
Oh, shit.
Whistling man. I need to warn Peggy.
But why is he after us? We were never involved with... Unless because we're getting in the way. That would make sense. Unless Peggy...
Peggy, are you there? Are you... Peggy? I need to get back upstairs.
Come on.
What the hell?
Wait, what happened? What happened? What happened? I'm confused. What happened? Don't say what the hell and think I know what's happening.
What? Why is it locked? Oh no.
Peggy?
Peggy! Where'd you go? What the? No way. This can't be happening.
Why he's...
A call? Where's Peggy, Don?
Have some patience, Forrest. It's almost the end of the night. Almost the end of the show. But it's not over just yet. Got a little time still. So let's make the most of it.
Alright, let's.
I'm happy to hear that.
Huh?
I thought we'd end tonight's Whistling Man special with a special guest. The one who started it all. Let me take you out of your mouth and...
You crazy bitch!
Teddy Gallows
Let me
Jr.
go!
Welcome to the air, Mr. Teddy Gallows Jr.
It makes sense.
It's all gonna come
Someone with a much higher power.
Daddy and his money saved you 20 years ago. But even if you cruel that I was called with all the money...
Happy birthday,
Wait,
Sis.
where the hell is Teddy? How are you talking to him if you're here with me?
Because I'm not there with you, Forrest.
Happy birthday, Peg.
And if he says where that is...
Have a great...
he doesn't
M.
get it.
Wait, then who am I looking at?
Forrest Nash, let me introduce you and all of Gallows Creek to my boy, Henry Barrow.
Your son.
Your son? You mean you... Wait, did he?
Yes, Forrest. He and I had a son.
So there were two whistling men tonight. Of course. That explains how you were always able to get around town so quickly. And that's how you escaped the secret archives in the newspaper office.
Don't think I've forgotten about that, Forrest. Locking my sweet boy away like an animal.
And Murphy, he was right, wasn't he? He did fight a man.
He did. I taught my boy to never run away from a fight.
Hang on. Did you say Barrow? That... Are you...
Let me just get this mask off. Damn uncomfortable thing. No wonder Mooney went crazy wearing this. There we go.
Marie Campbell? George's old girl. Oh. Well, it sure has been years since I last saw her. Oh, God damn it.
I'd be quiet if I were you, Teddy.
But
I'd listen to Forrest. Everyone's gonna know now what Teddy did. He killed George that night. This night. 20 years ago.
Listen to me. You...
You're gonna talk when I talk to you. And not a...
Sorry if I'm not talking. I'm like very invested in this.
I'm gonna give you a chance to talk. You're gonna help me reveal what really happened to George all those years ago.
Okay,
I'll do it.
Marie. I'll do it.
Good. Then let's talk about the night George was murdered.
Murdered? Listen,
I said you speak when you're spoken to. Now, I know you've done some good work tonight in piecing together what happened to George 20 years ago, and that's why I want you to interview us.
I can do that.
Interview you? All right, I can do that.
Thank you. I want you to help me and Teddy tell the story, Forrest. Do a good job. And hell, you might be the only one to leave here alive.
What about Peggy?
I need to drag this out. If I can buy Leslie time to get back to Gallows Creek and If I can find out where Marie is, then this can end. Teddy, we'll start with you. Just, talk me through what happened that night. How did it start?
How would I know? It was 20 years ago.
Do you want to die, Teddy? Because if you don't, start talking.
What the hell? God damn it.
He has a point. Come on.
Our first team party was coming up. And when I saw the date it was scheduled for, I had an idea for a way we could prank the new guys.
Whistling night, right?
I understand that kids in Gallows Creek know tonight as Whistling Night. I'm guessing that's what you mean?
Well, we didn't have a name for it then. It was just the night that Mooney went missing. But Whistling Night is what they call it later.
Wait. You mean this was the first Whistling Night?
Keep talking, Teddy.
We went up near Whistling Point.
Interesting.
Who was there? Me, Jason, and George, of course. But George didn't come alone. He brought Marie.
And Roller Ricky, he was there too, wasn't he?
Yes, Ricky was there too. Runner Ricky, our wide receiver. I helped him off the bottle, you know. Because I'm a decent man.
Is that so?
Yes, it is. He came apart one day. Some people do. He had some issues. Wasn't stable. I didn't want him to hurt his chances in life. So, I helped him keep himself together.
You were afraid he would talk about that night, weren't you?
Keep talking.
About midway through the night,
Uh-huh.
we put the prank into action.
We looked up at the trees and saw Jason there, bloody, like he'd just been stabbed. And the whistling man, screaming. George and I and Ricky, we got left behind. But Ricky was in on it too. I know he was.
No, he wasn't.
As close as anybody. Teddy must have told him the plan.
No, Ricky didn't know.
No, Marie, you're wrong. Ricky didn't know.
What?
Did you miss that part of the broadcast? I spoke to him earlier. He had no idea what was happening. He said he was as terrified as anybody.
He ran out.
Isn't that right, Teddy? You didn't tell him, did you?
Ricky never could keep his mouth shut. If we told him, he would have given everything away.
But well, it doesn't matter. He didn't run his mouth enough to tell anybody about it afterwards. He's still guilty.
It was just a stupid prank.
Hit him again, Marie.
God damn it!
You made George think Jason had been murdered. He thought his best friend was dead.
And so tonight you stabbed him for real?
It's the role he wanted to play.
True, granted.
Jason's still alive, Marie. He was with a friend. We talked her through how to stop the bleeding and got him professional help just in time.
Oh. Shame he didn't have the good sense to die earlier. He's gonna regret that. Enough about him. Me and George took off running, but somehow we got separated in the woods. I ended up near the bottom of Whistling Point. When I noticed George wasn't with me, I panicked. And then, I don't know how he snuck up on me, but the whistling man grabs me. I scream, and he starts laughing. Telling me it's just a joke.
I could stall for time here.
How do you feel? What happened next?
How did you feel in that moment?
I felt like nothing was real. I felt small and confused. And
Who was under the
Who
mask?
was under the mask, Marie? Who was the whistling man?
it was Chuck,
Chuck Brody.
laughing away. But then he stops. And he's looking up at the top of Whistling Point.
What was he looking at? Teddy, what happened next?
Nothing. It was just
Teddy?
George fell off Whistling Point.
Where were you?
Where were you when it happened?
You pushed him. You were up there. You were dressed as the Whistling Man too, and
I didn't push him, goddammit! I just chased him up there and he kept backing up. When I saw he was about to go over, I reached out. That's what you saw.
you liar.
It's not my fault. He didn't know it was a joke. If he'd had any brains, he would have realized. Oh, you bitch. No one's going to believe this. After all you did.
I believe her.
You... What?
I do believe her. After
Why else cover it up?
My future was at stake, Nash.
But still.
You know what it's like. People like us are dragged for bigger things. I'm going to be the mayor of this town, Forrest. And then governor. And then, who knows? What happened that night was tragic. It should never have happened. But it was a mistake. It was just a stupid joke gone wrong. So my father sent Clive out to clean it up. Why should a blip ruin my future?
George was a blip.
It wasn't a blip, Marie.
His father covered it up from there. I searched for George's body all night, but
Sandra found him the next morning while out jazz running.
she found him in the river, but she lied about that to protect Teddy.
She said something about her rent going up. Unless she... Teddy, did your father own Sandra Sharp's dance studio?
It's Gallows Creek, not Sharp Creek.
Hit him again, Marie.
Damn it. Yes. Okay. We own most of the town.
That's it then. Your father was going to run her out of business unless she lied and said she found him in the reservoir instead of the river.
What my father did in his business dealings is nothing to do with me.
bullshit on that one.
That's why you killed Sheriff Matthews too, isn't it, Maria? Not just to get him out of the way, but...
Everyone was in on it, Forrest. Even the coroner wrote a fake report. Said George was drinking, that he just got himself into trouble. And
I saw. I'm sorry. For all it's worth, Virginia didn't have much of a choice. She had a sick sister whose treatments she couldn't afford. She played along with the gallows to save her sister's life. And her own.
even still, she should have told the truth. I did my part. I tried everything I could think of. I even went to the newspaper, but no. That coward killed the story.
Oh, that's why you went for...
We'll take care of Maurice Russell later.
That's why he did that. Interesting, interesting. You've been through hell. This has to stop. When does the killing end?
You've been through hell, Marie. I'm sorry.
You've got no idea. Never should have started. I shouldn't have pushed my George off a cliff. He should have been punished. It's coming to a stop. At least for now. Here, where George and I first met, before he joined the football team. But right after, he shot the winning throw.
Wait a sec.
This is before. School.
Gallows Creek High. In the gymnasium.
That's right, Forrest. Not that it matters, but yes, we're here. Anyway, I think that
Took a
about
swing
wraps
for
up
Teddy
the
Gallows.
interview with Teddy. So,
Peggy!
Peggy!
Teddy?
You gotta help me.
Quiet. You'll talk more later. Now I have to talk to someone who mattered more than you ever did. Peggy. It's been so long since I've seen your face. I worried you wouldn't come.
Marie! Oh my god. I thought you...
And here I was, thinking you'd forgot me.
I'd never forget my own sister.
Sister? Peggy, what's happening? Why are you even there?
Wanna explain, Peggy?
Earlier, while you were speaking to Jason, I got a call. Do you remember?
Yes.
Well, it was from Dawn. She said that my sister Marie was there that night George died, and that I should come to the gym for a reunion.
And when you walked in, you found out.
That my sister is the Whistling Man.
Good to see you too, Peggy.
Why didn't you tell me any of this?
She said that it was my last chance to see my sister. I knew if I told you, you'd try to stop me or come with me when we need you on the radio. And I just...
I'm sorry. This has to be a lot for you.
What happened to you, Marie? You just disappeared one day.
Disappeared? I was thrown out, Peggy. I begged Mom and Dad to do something about what happened that night, but did they care? No, they told me to stay quiet. They only cared when they learned I'd been with George. And
Marie, I'm so sorry. I never knew.
it's not your fault. Really, it's Mom and Dad I should be seeing right now. But since they're gone,
No!
I'll have to settle for the next best thing.
Don't. Marie, listen to me. You don't have to do this.
Someone has to pay for what they did.
Marie, please.
Mom and Dad are gone, Peggy.
Wait, that is true! I saw the prompt. Why did he attack Eugene?
Just like the rest. You forgot.
Marie, Peggy never forgot about you.
Keep your mouth shut.
She kept a card from you. She kept it here on her desk.
What card?
The card you made me for my 8th birthday.
What does it say then?
Happy birthday, Peg. Now you're great and 8. Love, M.
Innocent police! Please! No! Henry! Get out of there! Ah!
Peggy!
We have 2 wounded, and we're in pursuit of the suspect.
Forrest!
Leslie, how's Peggy?
She's been cut pretty bad, but we're here now.
I'll be okay. God, Marie!
Hey, Zara! I need you to look
A
out
Tale
for
of
Peggy.
Two Sisters.
She needs help. Now, we got here just in the nick of time.
Where's Marie?
She bolted right as we got here. The police are right on her heels. It won't be long now. It's over, Forrest.
Well, folks, it was a long night, but we made it through together. I'm gonna head off to go check on Peggy. This has been Forrest Nash.
Good night and good morning. Let's make tomorrow great.
And it's been
A Scream. The man, the myth, the scream. Okay, I'm using it as Scott and Tammy. So Tammy died from falling. But oh no, Scott, he was the driver. Eugene. Oh wait, there's a chance to kill Teddy Gallows. Nice. Peggy.
It's growing stronger inside of me. It's a killer.
I like this song. Roller Ricky. I'm not gonna lie, Peggy kind of looks pretty in this picture. No, 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 no! I'll be right back. Hey guys, I kept trying to come back to play the rest of the game, like, you know, for the titles and everything, but it kept dying, or it kept kicking me out of the game. And I made it to the ending because I felt like recording it while the ending was playing kept kicking me out, so I decided to just watch the rest of the title of the end credits. And yeah, apparently one of them jumped from the mountain, from the top of the mountain, the same way the original Whistling Man did. So it's hinting that he may or may not still be alive, or he's just gone. But it's also hinting maybe another game, sequel, prequel, who knows. But guys, I really enjoyed this game. It was really fun, something kind of different from what I'm usually doing. But at the same time, I love it. I love the way the gameplay was single, like, you know, your choice decisions, and the decisions matter. It got me thinking, and I like it. I love games like this, and I hope to play more of like these. If you have any more recommendations such as this, let me know in the comments down below. And guys, this is Mr. Holic from 189.16 The Scream. This is Mr. Holic signing off. Goodbye.